This is Brittany Cozy. She's the chair of our shade committee.
Oh,
Yeah, we got it. And then, yeah, there's that shot at the bottom. Like that. I feel like shade deserves like a slow clap or something. It won't make you do it, but everybody's been excited about shade, but that's fine. Maybe I will, because who doesn't want shade on that playground at this point? So I actually work, if you don't know, I work at Nationwide Children's Hospital in the dermatology clinic. So shade, that's how I got involved. So just really quick, because I think Rachel will kick me off. If not, provide.
No, this is like one of this is our
I
like
know, but
feature.
still.
This is, like,
Oh
we
gosh,
built-
that's a lot of pressure, and I did not dress appropriately. Steph, I did say both, so there you go. That was okay, so our goal was really to provide students and community members with adequate shade on the playground, protect our kids, give them a place, a safe place to play, and to really protect it and cool the equipment. I did a sun study, just FYI, in the middle of the summer. And at one point it was like 80 degrees outside and some of the equipment was 140 degrees. So, you know, burning skin, which is not great. So also I've seen kids like huddle under the slides for protection. So we're really trying to help with that. So this is old school, what was originally created when they looked at the playgrounds and the trees, which we'll talk about too. Rachel and I are working on getting some extra trees in there, which is exciting. Won't benefit necessarily our students, but in future years.
In 50 years.
Yes,
Loving that shade.
yes. And you know, Bexley, our Arboretum loves it. So these are obviously the places that we're looking to shade right now, which are wide open and very sunny. So our Remington side was the easier side because it's lower. So it would be one large shade over top with these 4 poles. And then the bigger question was the Montrose side. So really quickly, this was the original look. So you would have 3 umbrellas, but you can see it didn't really, when you looked at the shade progression, it didn't really cover much. And the slides, which in particular were 140 degrees, weren't shaded. So then we looked at another one, which then kind of followed the Remington side. So again, a nice big tarp. It will have to be, and I'll say a little bit real quickly about the AAD grant. So it has to be a certain UVR, so it has to protect a certain degree percentage, and so actually navy blue does that, which fits well with Montrose, so that's what color it would be. And so this is where it would protect in the different times of day.
So just here, just to pause there. So
Yeah.
what we're seeing here is 10 a.m. where the shade, where the shadow would fall was covered, and then 12, 2, and 4. Is that
Yes, exactly. So kind of shade throughout there. And then this, there are some areas that maybe weren't all the way protected. So we looked at another one, which is a little larger. The hard part is that you have other equipment like the slide or the swing and the the dome out there, and the teeter totter. Oh my gosh, I haven't said that word in a long time. That would kind of maybe disrupt. So and this is about 25,000 more for when we looked at the progression. It didn't really cover that much more shade. So we decided to go with this one. So we went back to that middle one, which has the larger chart, but not the umbrella.
So just to stop there. So I think
Yeah.
we've seen 3 designs. One
Yeah.
with the umbrellas that did not provide very much shade. That's
This
option.
Yeah.
And then
the
this is
middle
the
one.
middle option.
Yes.
And then the larger option was quite a bit more expensive, 25,000 with minimal extra shade protection. Is
So
that
we,
correct?
yes. So we didn't really feel like that was cost effective for the shade that you were getting on top of it. So that's that. I was emphasizing that. So this is also kind of what it would look like from above. This is the one that we decided on. This is the height. So it would be higher. Remember, it has to go above the slide, the swirly slide. So it's going to be higher. But we will have to do the BZAP for the Bexley City to go through that. I just put on there really quick, so you know what the warranties look like that we're asking for. So the fabric is a 10-year and the poles are 20 years. So something that we would have to consider in 10 years to repurchase for the fabric. And then this is the cost. So the cost for this one, and this is just shade. We're not talking about any seating at this point. It's just the shade. So we're about 101,000. And so what we're hoping to do is get grants from the BCF, which is so great. The BEF, Pam Glasgow is my neighbor, so we love her as well. And then the AAD. So the AAD is American Academy of Dermatology, and there is a grant that's $8,000 from them. So one of my physicians that I work with will lovingly, after I get all together for them, put it into the AAD. And I don't know if your kids heard about this at all, but at the end of last year, we did a sun education in the classroom. And that was to help us with this grant, because that had to be part of that grant. Also asking money from the PTO, which was what Spencer was talking about. So sorry for taking all of the money. And then community fundraising. So probably doing, looking to do probably direct ask, and then potentially putting names on something to really contribute this, because it's not just parents, but also the community members that use it. So that would be what we would be looking at there. Any questions about that? Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah, please. So when you put this out to the community for fundraising, are you going to have like kind of the next tier of like beyond this 101,000? You said not seating, it wouldn't include certain things that ideally we'd love to have eventually. Like, would you have anything where it's like
This is
the above and beyond? Like,
if we get to that point, this is really just, this has been going on for at least 2 years that I've been doing it, and for further before that. So this is the main thing that was one of the most important things when they when they actually did the study for the playground implementation of what it is now. When they asked what's really important, shade was number 2 right after the playground, and there's no shade. So teachers have been asking for it, kids have been asking for it. So this is really our main goal, get this done and get this through.
I totally agree. Like, I think that's like, but to your point, if there's availability to do it, absolutely we could. And that's part of one of the things we asked for on the board. So like, and what kind? Because if there's a certain kind of seating that your family would use more, like that would be really helpful to know what the consistent need is. Like if the venture too, where is it? And we love all of that kind of feedback.
But we're also probably, I think, doing
This
this
is
is what we're doing, and
Yeah.
then that may come in the future, but that would no longer be under me.
So before we go on Zoom, any other questions or comments? Like, we're happy to.
I think someone's trying to say something. There's a chat thing.
You have a comment, Spencer?
Just to build on what you were asking for, if we do fundraise larger than that and have additional assets available, we have previously looked at some seating options with tables and benches and various things. And it's the same group that states that built playgrounds, that would be doing the shade, we put it out for some of these tables and benches. So it's all stuff that we can do a la carte. So if we get the shade in and we have extra money, we can set up another contract with them and we can put in benches or additional tables or what have you. So it doesn't stop one from happening because we have more money and want to do something else. We can just do it sequentially.
And then just as first of all, thank you for that comment, and then that's helpful context. We have some grant deadlines that are coming up fast, which is why we proposed this in the spring, but we had to just get everything together with what we could afford and what our priorities were. And so we have a Vexta Community Foundation grant that was due August 12th that they've allowed to have a rolling basis for, because we applied for it in the past. Is that correct, Spencer? We're working with them.
Yeah.
So we do have some deadlines here that we have to move forward. But of course, it's a big expenditure. I was part of the original playground project, and it was $300,000. We did not add this in, but it's something everybody wanted back at the time. So that's why we're here now. Comments online.
Hi, this is Nikki. I just wanted to give a comment about the seating around the playground. I know that we've talked about that in the past based on the kids being outside for lunch, but also flipping back to the teachers to see what the actual seating, how the seating would benefit the students. Because when they're on their playground, hopefully the teachers are wanting them to run and to play and to interact with their friends, as opposed to seating on the playground, where previously we've talked about classes coming out to learn on the playground or to learn in those seating areas. But the younger students would be out on the playground, preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. So it kind of intertwines with each other. So I would just like to flip it back when we consider seating.
Thank you, Nikki. That's helpful. Any other comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on. So the shade got started getting bring up about 3 years ago when I first joined the PTO. Initially, Emily was the president. It got brought up as a project, and then Brittany came on with her contacts. So this has been going on for pretty much the whole COVID saga, which is probably why reference back to the money that we made. The past 3 readathons, we've had very large success on fundraising. And we always kind of talked about earmarking, putting money aside, and it just kind of built up on each other. So shade has been a priority for multiple years now. So I'm very excited to see the work that Brittany's done, and hopefully we can get a result from it. But I'm really happy to see the progress we've had on this project. And I do like the new larger shade on the Montrose side. So great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
And just to let you guys know, the goal is that it would be able to put in around spring break of 23. So we're in that school year to get it done. So we have the AED grant that had to be 1 year. So that's why we had the delay on getting through with this. That had to be going on for a year. So we'll apply for that in October. The BECF we're applying in the next week probably, and then the BEF very soon after. So going from there. And then we have to go through the school board will take it up, and then they'll have to go to the city, and then we can move on. So that's kind of the progression of things. I think I might have just had a thing.
Any other comments on the shade?
You're good. No, we're good.